Hello, this is Dr. Do again. This video is outside of medicine. Continue the viewing history through reading. I'm going to continue to read. But he told neither his father nor his mother what he had done. And then he went down and talked with the woman, and he liked her. Sometime later, when he went back to marry her, he turned aside to look at the lion's carcass. In it was a swarm of bees and some honey, which he scooped out with his hands and ate as he went along. When he rejoined his parents, he gave them some, and they too ate it, but he did not tell them that he had taken the honey from the lion's carcass. Now his father went down to see the women, and Samson made a feast there, as was customary of bridegrooms. When he appeared, he was given 30 companions. Let me tell you a riddle. Samson said to them, if you can give me the answer within the 7 days of the feast, I will give you 30 linen garments and 30 sets of clothes. If you cannot tell me the answer, you must give me 30 linen garments and 30 sets of clothes. Tell us your riddle, they said. Let's hear it. He replied, out of the easter something to eat, out of the stronger something sweet. For 3 days they couldn't give the answer. On the 4th day they said to Samson's wife, coax your husband into explaining the riddle for us, or we will burn you and your father's household to death. Did you invite us here to rob us? Then Samson's wife threw herself on him, sobbing, you hate me. You don't really love me. You give my people a riddle, but you haven't told me the answer. I haven't even explained it to my father or mother, he replied. So why should I explain it to you? She cried the whole 7 days of the feast, so on the 7th day he finally told her. Because she continued to press him, she in turn explained the riddle to her people. Before sunset on the 7th day, the man of the town said to him, what is sweeter than honey? What is stronger than a lion? Samson said to them, if you had not applauded with my heifer, you would not have solved my riddle. Then the Spirit of the Lord came upon him in power. He went down to Ashkelon, struck down 30 of their men, stripped them of their belongings, and gave their clothes to those who had explained the riddle. Burning with anger, he went up his father's house, and Samson's wife was given to the friend who had attended him at his wedding. Samson's regency on the Philistine. Chapter 15. Later on, at the time of wheat harvest, Samson took a young goat and went to visit his wife. He said, I am going to my wife's room, but her father would not let him go in. I was so sure you thoroughly hate her, he said, that I gave her to your friend. Isn't it her younger sister more attractive? Take her instead. Samson said to them, this time I have a right to give even with the Philistine. I will really harm them. So he went out and caught 300 foxes and tied them tail to tail in pairs. He then fastened a torch to every pair of tail, lit the torch and let the fox loose in the standing grain of the Philistine. He burns up the shocks and also standing grains together with the vineyard and olive groves. When the Philistine asked who did this, they were told Samson, the Timnite's son-in-law, because his wife was given to his friend. So the Philistine went up and burned her and her father to death. Samson said to them, since you acted like this, I won't stop until I get my revenge on you. He attacked them viciously and slaughtered many of them. Then he went down and stayed in a cave in the rock of Etam. The Philistine went up and camped in Judah, spreading out near Lehi, and the men of Judah asked, why have you come to fight us? We have come to take Samson prisoner, they answered. to do to him as he did to us." Then 3,000 men from Judah went down to the cave in the rock of Etam and said to Samson, "Do not you realize that the Philistines are rulers over us? What have you done to us?" He answered, "I merely did to them what they did to me." They said to him, "We've come to tie you up and bind you over to the Philistine." Samson said, "Swear to me that you won't kill me yourselves." "Agreed," they answered. "We will only tie you up and hand you over to them. We will not kill you." So they bound him with 2 new ropes and led him up from the rock. As he approached Lehi, the Philistines came toward him, shouting. The Spirit of the Lord came upon him in power. The ropes on his arm became like charred flax, and the binding dropped from his hand. Finding a fresh jawbone of donkey, he grabbed it and struck down 1,000 men. Then Samson said, "With a donkey's jawbone, I've made a donkey of them. With a donkey's jawbone, I have killed 1,000 men." When he finished speaking, he threw away the jawbone, and the place was called Ramath Lehi. Because he was very thirsty, he cried out to the Lord, "You have given your servant this great victory. Must I now die of thirst and fall into the hands of the uncircumcised?" Then God opened up the hollow place in Lehi, and the water came out of it. When Samson drank, his strength returned, and he revived. So the spring was called En Hakkol, and it is still there in Lehi. Samson led Israel for 20 years in the days of Philistine. Samson and Delilah. Chapter 16. One day Samson went to Gaza, where he saw a prostitute. He went in to spend the night with her. The people of Gaza were told, "Samson is here," so they surrounded the place and lay in wait for him all night in the city gate. They made no move during the night, saying, "At dawn we'll kill him." But Samson lay there only until the middle of the night. Then he got up and took hold of the doors of the city gate, together with the 2 posts, and tore them loose, bar and all. He lifted them to his shoulders and carried them to the top of the hill that faces Hebron. Sometime later he fell in love with a woman in the valley of Sorek, whose name was Delilah. The rulers of the Philistines went to her and said, "See if you can lure him into showing you the secret of his great strength and how we can overpower him, so we may tie him up and subdue him. Each one of us will give you 1,100 shekels of silver." So Delilah said to Samson, "Tell me the secret of your great strength and how you can be tied up and subdued." Samson answered, "If anyone ties me with 7 fresh thorns that have not been dried, I will become as weak as any other man." I'm going to stop here and continue next time. Thank you for watching.